Americans are projected to spend a near record $317 billion on home improvement this year. And the housing industry is clearly on solid footing. Just look at supply and demand right here in our area. A big question for a lot of homeowners is, how can I protect and increase the value of my home? Well, Emmy-Award winning host George Oliphant can help answer that. You probably know him from TV. He joins us now with some DIY tips for sprucing up inside and out. Good morning, George.
Good morning, Mary. Yeah, if you're going to spend all this money on fixing up your home, you probably want to make sure that it's safe and sound. You don't want people, breaking in. I always say on George Rescue, safety first. That's to protect everybody on the job site, but let's protect the job site itself. Let's protect the house. And yeah, there's all sorts of alarms and cameras and stuff, but a lot of times people overlook the most basic form of security, which is the deadbolt, the good old deadbolt, the lock on your door. People think that they're safe because they hear chimes or things like that, or the lock's been there forever, but they've lost the keys. They don't know who has the key. So my first advice is, let's start with rudimentary security, which is putting on new deadbolts on your doors. And if you have a door that you love, your front door, your back door, you love the hardware, that's great. You don't have to rip all that out. You can literally just switch out the guts, the actual deadbolt part, so you have a new key that you know who the key is in possession of, your kids, your family, whoever. And because of this smart key technology, it'll rekey right there on your premises. Like, this is all DIY. You're not bringing anybody in. You can do it yourself. So I'm a huge fan of just, keeping the house safe with Kwikset.
No kidding. And I didn't
realize
first
and foremost.
You could keep the look and just change out. I did believe that you had to do all of it. So that's cool to know.
No. Yeah, a lot of people do. I mean, you can switch it out. That's a great way to just kind of give, your door a facelift, change out. Maybe you've had the same handle forever and now you want to change it up. Or if you're in love with what you got, keep it and just switch out the deadbolt.
That's nice. And now that the weather is warming up, we've had a few kisses of it here in our neck of the woods. How can we get that healthy green lawn that looks nice all season long, George?
Oh man, that is what everybody wants. And I can tell you, I've spent a lot of time toiling in the soil, getting out there, trying to fight the weeds and fight the elements. And finally I said, you know what, let's work with somebody who can help me help my yard. And that's where True Green comes in. I mean, that's why they're the pros. I totally encourage people to get out there and do the sweat equity, but sometimes you don't want to always be taking 2 steps forward and then a step back. If you bring in a professional like True Green, they can kind of tailor it to your yard as to what you need to really get that foundation in there, get you started. And then once it's flourishing, you take the reins. But a lot of times, we just bang our head against the wall trying to do these things that we just don't understand. So sometimes I found, my dad always said, if you don't really know, it's all right to ask for help. And that's what True Green does.
Let's stay outdoors. What can we do to fix up maybe a worn out deck? What do you like?
Man, decks. I think decks are one of the most fun places to entertain during the summer. Yep. But one of the issues with wooden decks, I've seen it, I grew up, my first job was painting and sanding decks. So I know this all too well. Decks need to be painted, sanded, stained, power washed every other year. But if you were going to put in a deck today, I would highly recommend looking at going with a composite decking like Trex, because A, it's 95% recycled material, so you're doing something environmentally conscious. But B, they come in every color you could want, 18 different colors. They look like real decking. You can see that they have all of the same, markings of a wood deck, and they have none of the hassle. Literally, you get a storm, you hose it off, and you're ready to entertain. There's none of the sanding, staining, splinters of wood. And you're going to get a deck that's going to perform better than a wood deck, and it's going to be a lot less maintenance.
We are just about out of time, George, but I want to make sure we get a website so our viewers can learn more about what you've shown us, get some additional ideas perhaps.
Of course, Mary. Videopump.tv, that's got all the info on everything I was talking about, and always a few other things on there.
All right, George, thank you. It's good to see you.
Great to see you, Mary. Have a good day. Get that frog in the throat taken care of.
Thanks, buddy.